There's no problem at all. What's the issue? If the material is suitable for being studied or reviewed through an auditory learning system, that's a topic that's been researched a lot, like podcasting and things like that, as well as radio and recorded sound. All of these are subjects of research. For instance, a student might take about half an hour to an hour to get to their college or university or school while driving, and they could use an auditory learning system during that time. So I'm in Buraydah and it takes me about half an hour to get to the university. I could use an auditory learning system while I'm driving and learn if I need to study or something. Then there's another system, which is audio-visual learning, if it works with us in the video. This way, it engages both the auditory and visual senses. There are silent films that only deal with sight, but the advantage of films is that they combine all these senses together. Also, the interaction, action, and story in the animated film deal with the feeling, and this is not written here. Animation deals with the learner's feeling because it depends on the dramatic plot. There is drama, there is a plot, there is a story, a scenario. It has action, it has motivation, it has profit and loss. That is, it is possible even in science, in scientific cartoons and animation films that have been used in education, in engineering, in medicine. All of this has been done, and there was even a collection of cartoons and animation in the past called 3D, 2D. Its name is French. It is French. Back in the day, there were channels like Ikra, and if you go on Google and type in the children's series Once Upon a Time in Life, I mean, I might have that series. Excuse me for stepping out of the presentation to check if I have that series or not, but I might have it. It could be on this hard drive, for instance. Once upon a time, life exists in my projects, for example, in these secret films called animated films. No, this is something else. It exists here in the projects. Studio files here. It is supposed to be once upon a time life. This exists at Huwa. This series, of course, all these extensions can't be read on my end. I have 2 episodes in WMV format, and I need the code. This was the cover of the series, but it was in 2D and 3D. It talks about culture. It's French, as I mentioned, and it relies on the idea of the person you see in front of you entering the human body and interacting with the ear, the eye, and the immune system, and it talks to the blood. And then that night, what happened was, the well-known series is nice in the PhD program, and it goes on and on. It works with everything, even the discs. They used to distribute the discs to us. Anyway, this film is French, and Constantine and the world is working, you know. All right, this is the poster, and I have all these episodes downloaded up to episode 26. Now let's watch this episode or that one. We can convert it to see them. This is basically the eye, you know. I'll play it with any player. I haven't played it in a while, so maybe the media player will work. But let's watch this episode or that one. We'll convert it so we can see them. This is basically the eye, you know. I'll play it with any player. I haven't played it in a while, so maybe the media player will work. Yeah, it's working now. All right. This bigger one is an animated film that airs on Ikra, and God knows what it's about. It talks about sound. What is it for the ear? Anyway, it shows the human body, and we find a lot of activity, like the cells, and the characters of the heroes who are holding onto the human body and the cells and all that. And it tells you about the stomach going this way and that way, and there's a conflict and battles happening inside the human body, and the people who fall are being treated and talked about. The series tells you that the character interacts at 15 degrees, suitable for activating the nerve messengers. The organizers, yes, I delegate them something that makes it easier for the workers. No, let me explain it better. I mean, when I touch something, it reflects it, and I adjust the lock. It's not like that, but it's just a clarification of the idea. What's this? What's all this? It's like 100 things broken in the mixer. They're telling you, what's this in the incoming? I don't know what's in the incoming. What's this in the incoming? I don't know what this is in the incoming. The muscles. And a big all for them. A large wide ring around the eye and a small storehouse that grows on the stream. A large wide ring around the eye and a small storehouse that grows on the stream. Thank you. Look, cleaners are using the eye, placing ingredients to clean it. There's a connection to the eye, and people watch workers apply it. I saw workers applying it. Process complete. It's an animation about bacteria. And what's next? 2 episodes focus on the eye, and another on hearing and the ear. It shows how sound enters the ear. Let's see how it works. This is an introduction and example of the animation. Dr. Susan and Dr. Dalal agree it's a beautiful, scientific, and useful series for kids. If available now, it would have high resolution. So, what's next? We have 2 episodes about the eye and another about hearing and the ear. It shows how sound enters the ear. Let's see how it works. This is an introduction and example of how to pay attention to the animation. Dr. Susan and Dr. Dalal agree this series is great, beautiful, scientific, and useful for kids. If available now, it would have high resolution and be a distinguished work teaching children about their bodies, even before school. This is important and part of our timing. This is an introduction. Notice how this animation looks. Dr. Susan says this series is beautiful. Dr. Dalal and Dr. Susan watch this series and agree it's a lovely, scientific, and useful series for kids. Available now, it'd have high resolution. Produced smoothly, it'd be a very distinguished scientific work teaching kids about their bodies. This is ongoing. Components are still being installed. In minutes, things will update. I can start now, but I'll wait to finish the broadcast to wrap up. Films are used in and out of classrooms to grab learners' attention. To ensure balanced production, this distinguished scientific work educates children about their bodies, even before school. This is crucial and a significant part of our timing. Films engage learners inside and outside classrooms. Teachers use projectors or data shows to display 3D or animated films explaining curriculum parts. Students may take materials to labs, libraries, or media rooms, known in Egypt as knowledge resource rooms. The installation and setup are still ongoing, working on installing some components. In a few minutes, God willing, things will be updated. I can start for now, but I won't start until I finish with you the broadcast, so I can wrap up. The films are used inside and outside the classrooms to grab the learner's attention. Of course, the films that are used inside the classrooms can be used by the professor himself with an overhead projector or the current data show that connects to the computer. He can bring his laptop with him and show 3D films or animated films to his students to explain some parts of the course. Sometimes the students take themselves to the lab room, library, or media room. In Egypt, we call it the knowledge or media room. Anything that involves an educational technology specialist includes a set of tools to assist the teacher. Some people bring these tools to the classroom, while others take the class to the room. It varies. The important thing is that these films are used to grab the learner's attention because of the dramatic plot I mentioned earlier. Of course, in animated films, there can be an internal structure of components. There's more than just understanding the internal structure of the ear, eye, heart, or cell in the human body. I don't even want to mention the internal structure of things like a mobile phone, computer, refrigerator, or even a lion or a horse. Anything. When I understand the internal structure of the ear, eye, heart, or cell in the human body, I don't even want to mention the internal structure of components like a mobile phone, computer, refrigerator, the internal structure of a lion, a horse, or anything else. I understand the internal structure through animated films. I'm working with raw abilities, and we've seen examples of the eye and ear, and the behavior followed in dealing with these components, just like what happened with the eye and ear. Of course, I'll explain the eye better than I would explain the ear, and I'll explain the liver or kidney even better. No, it's impossible. I've been working on animated films for 60 minutes now, and it's still going. Animation achieves the principle of self-learning, and I want to tell you that all educational films or videos achieve self-learning. It's recorded, especially for those who missed today's training. The number of people registered is more than the moment. So for those who missed it or couldn't attend, or if they don't know how to join the session now, they can go back and rewatch it.